My name is Kika Nicolela. I'm from Brazil, and I am an artist. I work basically with video, video installation, video single-channel videos, and documentary, and it's my fourth year here in aluCine. So sometimes I come and I show. First time I showed a video, second year I showed a video installation, and for the past 2 years, this year and last year, I brought a project called Exquisite Corpse Video Project, which is a project that I not only participate as a video artist, but I also coordinate. And it's a collaboration project among artists from all over the world. And so it's a pleasure to be here again, bringing the same project for the second time. So it's interesting to have this dialogue with a festival for so long, and having a relationship that evolves. Well, this project started in April 2008. It was a way for me as an artist to outreach and try to catalyze a project in which I could bring other artists together and we could create together, people from various countries and that many times don't even know each other in person. So it was a way to collaborate, and at the same time each artist could maintain their own artistic voice, so it would also be possible in a practical sense to just make this work and just keep on going. So we've been doing this since April, and now it's almost December 2009, so it's been almost 2 years actually, and it's been great because it's a way of working collaboration, but also discussing a lot the creative process with other people. And I believe that video art can be a little lonely sometimes, so I think that was what really made me start this project, was that I wanted to have more dialogue with other artists instead of just making my own work and showing it and that's it, you know. I wanted to involve more people and use the internet, that is a really powerful and democratic tool that is there for everybody, and use it as a way to produce this collaborative work. And I think it has impacted me and other participants in a very profound way. Like many of us are kind of addicted to this process of creating in collaboration, and are addicted to have also colleagues that you can talk to. And even if you are making like my newest works, all of them I send to some of them and have feedback before I start showing. So it's like a little international community that it's evolving and it's gaining, I think, strength. And the way it works, the Exquisite Corpse, is it's very simple and it's inspired by the surrealist movement of the Exquisite Corpse, which is not. So it's just translated the Exquisite Corpse idea into video. So each person makes, we build this line of artists, and the first one makes a 1-minute video and send the last 10 seconds to the next artist. And the next artist takes this 10 seconds and he can elaborate over these 10 seconds. He can change it, he can incorporate into his own thing, and then he makes his own piece of 1 minute and send the last 10 seconds to the next, and so on and so on. So we make, that's why I say that it's a collaboration, but also you get to keep this during 50 seconds, that's you, and then the last 10 seconds is this next person just makes this transition to his own work. So that's how it works. And that was especially the first volume, it was exactly like this, and we didn't have any theme or anything to work with. It was just working off of each other. And then for the second volume, we tried to change some rules or some parameters of this little game, and just to try to do something different and to go deeper somehow. So we decided to make it, instead of 1 minute, it's between 1 and 2 minutes, and the person can send between 10 and 20 seconds to the next one in the line, and that is each artist's choice. And that's very subtle difference, but it makes a very huge impact in the end, I think, because you never, as an audience, when you watch it, you never know when it's ending one piece and starting the next one. The transitions are more subtle and you never know, and I think it drives you better, the flow of the whole thing. And that's also something that I'm talking because of the talk we had after the screening, and so this is also from the feedback that I had with people here in aluCine, because they saw the 2 volumes. So it's perfect to have this kind of feedback, to talk with an audience that has seen both and can tell me what they feel. So I think that's really important to listen to the audience and their responses. So, but that was the objective, the goal of the second volume. And also, each line of artists has to deal with one theme that I choose beforehand. I kind of proposed 12 themes for everybody, and they would the artists could choose which theme they wanted to work with. And then, so also, I thought it was more challenging, one more challenge. You have to receive the 10 seconds and respond to that, but also respond to a theme, and how each artist chooses to do that is really interesting to me. So the project right now, as it has like 60 members and from 25 countries. So what happens is that many of the artists not only make their pieces, but they also help a lot in defining more venues and disseminating the work. They're really interested in, even though this whole process takes place on the net, through the net, we are very much interested in showing these pieces in real encounters with the audience, because it's all about encounters, really. So it's each time we show it, we try to get as many participants of the project together as we can. So for example, last November 19th, we had an exhibition, a screening in Berlin, and I couldn't be there, I was here, but I know that at least 6 of the project members were there, and not only the German ones, like 2 Germans, but the rest were people from other places in Europe, and also a Chinese woman. So we tried to pick a date to have the most amount of people that work in the project and get together, sometimes for the first time. So it's always a meeting of the minds or something, and it's really becoming more and more common. This is happening a lot. Like we've been showing a lot in many countries and many cities, but also we've been meeting a lot. And that is, I think, is becoming the strength of the project, really, is this meetings and exchanging ideas, and other projects being born because of this one. Sometimes I'm involved in them, sometimes I'm not. So, but I feel just the same, that I'm kind of fomenting some new projects, that even if I'm not participating, and that really makes me happy to see that people like, I don't know, artists from Sweden that didn't know each other, they are like organizing exhibitions of one another after they met through the project, for example. So this kind of thing, I think, is really interesting to see. Well, I've been making, my background is in film. So I study film and not visual arts. It's many other video artists have done. And I think so film has been a major influence for me, and I've been working with video since experimenting with video really since 2003. And I think my work has a lot to do with connecting with the other and creating situations that people either usually me and the other person who I'm shooting with, usually either an actor or a dancer or a participant, try to make a situation that gets out of my control, but I have some rules or some parameters, but then it gets out of my control and it makes me and the other person get out of our comfort zone. So I think that really interests me to see what happens with people when they really start connecting with each other in these strange alien situations. And in some sense, I think all my videos do that. They have this somehow in their strategy. But I work in many different ways. Some of my videos are very elaborate, with a lot of production value even, and with lighting and director photography and an actor, or I have a crew. And sometimes it's very straightforward and very simple, I have a video that I just shot, images from the window inside a bus in a highway, and the video is just that, and it was shot with a very low quality camera, and sometimes I shoot with very high-end cameras. So I think it's that all that is changeable, but I think at the core of my work is really this trying to communicate with the other in a deeper way somehow, especially because I always lived too much inside my head all my life, and it's hard for me to get outside of my head and communicate. So I think video is my way of being in this world, really being right now in this moment. And I think really it's an insight that I got not long ago, so that it's very personal, but I think that's what makes that it's all in all my pieces. We do have, I think, much more than in other countries in Latin America. Maybe we do have some support for art, so we do have some grants, some awards, and some so we can't complain too much. But we are a very large country, like 160 million people, and my city alone has 21 million people. So it's not enough. I don't think it is enough. I think that for people who work with video, it's a bit tricky because we are in kind of a limbo between cinema and visual arts. I know I am. And people don't really know how to handle us sometimes. Galleries don't know how to handle videos, for example. I know that in the States, for example, or sometimes in Europe, or even here, they know more how to handle video commercially. And that is not true in Brazil. But that is not something special. I think most countries have this difficulty. And that's it. For example, right now I just asked for a grant. I got into this really cool residency in Austria, and I asked for a grant to cover my flight. That's the only thing that the residency doesn't cover, so I asked for a grant in Brazil. And it's clearly art residency, and my work is clearly not cinema. And I got rejected because they said it was not possible for them to cover audiovisual projects. It was only visual art projects. And so I was like trying to argument with them, but it's taking too long, so it's already almost there, so I won't have time anyway to prove my point and have the grant. So I was very upset by that. How come it's not possible that they didn't see in all the papers that I sent them that this is okay, I'm gonna work with video, but this is a visual arts project. The end result is an installation inside a gallery, and the thing is a art residency. So how come they didn't realize that? So sometimes it really makes me angry that we do have a lot of support in some parts, but still in others we get stuck in this kind of narrow-mindedness. Yes, and actually in the opening night of the festival, I presented a program, a curatorial program, that it didn't include any of my works. I just decided that meeting all these interesting artists at the Exquisite Corpse, I really wanted to also help promoting their own personal solo works, and also, you know, show a little bit, since people here are seeing the Exquisite Corpse for the second time, I wanted also to introduce who are these artists behind the Exquisite Corpse. And so I had to choose some of them, not all of them, but I chose like 20 more or less. And I decided to approach that with the theme of self and other representations is the title of the program. So it's I just chose works that had this in common. They are either portraits, self-portraits, or kind of diaries, audiovisual diaries, and I was just trying to find a common thread between all these artists from countries like, I don't know, like Sweden, UK, and China, and Slovenia, and Brazil, and Colombia. So what they could have in common in this regard and the different approaches. And also I tried to mix the several strategies that I see in the works of these artists. So some of them, they come from more performative art, some come from animation, and others from something more documentary. So that I think is interesting to see different approaches to the same general idea. So yeah, so that was the program that I selected to show here.